Hey everyone, Oben1 here, and this is my review for Avengers Infinity War, the 19th film by Marvel Studios set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sorry it took me so long to get this video out. It kind of took me a while to get my head around what happened in the movie. First off, yes, you definitely have to watch a majority of the Marvel movies that came before to make sense of what is happening in this movie. Please go in watching this movie without any expectations or any theories about what you think will happen in the movie, because I assure you, you'll be 100% wrong, like everyone who was making their theory videos. If possible, please do watch it on IMAX, yeah, because that was the format it was filmed in, and it's definitely worth watching in IMAX. And I really hope the home release will be formatted in the IMAX aspect ratio, kind of like The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, and a majority of Christopher Nolan's movies that were formatted or shot in IMAX. I don't want to have to only watch it in 3D or 4K to enjoy the IMAX aspect ratio. I want to see it in the 2D as well. But yeah, please do watch it in IMAX. This was the first film to be entirely shot with the IMAX cameras. So films like Dunkirk, The Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight had scenes shot with the IMAX cameras, but the rest of the film was shot with regular cameras. That is why you see the changes of aspect ratios when you watch the movies on Blu-ray. But back to the film, which is an emotional roller coaster. This film left me speechless as soon as I finished watching it. I had to take a while off to get my mind right, to figure out what to say for this review, which I'm not even going to spoil at all for anybody. I seriously recommend you stay away from the internet and block people who are talking about the film and just go in there blind. I believe me, you will enjoy it when you do see it cold. But again, you do have to have watched a majority of the previous Marvel movies before watching this one. People who are not as invested as fans of the series will not like this movie at all. They will find things to hate about it. But yeah, if you are invested emotionally or anyhow, if you have watched the previous movies, then it pays off quite well in the story, with the characters, and with what the future is going to be. And Loki has kind of moved down in my list of villains for the MCU. Thanos is just remarkable. I mean, yeah, he's very different from the comics, but the way they use him in the movie is just fantastic. He has a great arc. He has a great chemistry with certain characters in the movie as well. And he is kind of emotional, but in a good way. And hopefully you will understand what I mean when you do watch. Some characters are paired up with unlikely characters, and their interactions are a lot of fun to see. Some incredibly bold choices were made for this movie, and I believe those choices made it even way better. The visual effects were really well done. Obviously, there were some points where it was a bit off, but for the most part, it worked. The Black Order were interesting villains, a little bit underused, but kind of felt like they were used adequately for what they were needed to do. Stay till the very end of the movie. There is one post-credit sequence in it, not the usual 2 or 3 or whatever, but one post-credit scene at the very end of the movie. I know some people might think what I'm about to say is a bit ridiculous, but I'll just say it anyway. Watching the movie made me feel like I was watching Star Wars. You know, it had a feel of Star Wars to me. And I'm not kissing the movie's backside or anything like that. It's just, I had that kind of feeling of watching Star Wars as I was watching Infinity War. Very fun, very entertaining. And I look forward to what comes next. And that is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and part 2 of Infinity War, or Avengers 4, however the title will end up being. I'm very excited for it after watching this. There you have it, my review for Avengers Infinity War, my spoiler free review. Sorry I was as vague as possible, but you need to go in there without knowing as much as possible, or knowing as little as possible. But either way, I hope you enjoy it. Most of you might have already seen the film by the time I put this up. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you made of it. And if you did enjoy my review, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you next time. And yeah, I can't wait for the final movie. Or not the final movie, but the one coming up soon. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.